You ever had to work in a group, maybe for an academic project or in a team, both in work or maybe at school, if you're on a team at school? Chapter 10 talks about groups and teams and does a very good job talking about various topics in this area. So the chapter starts out talking about the 5 areas of team development, and that is the forming, the storming, the norming, performing, and adjourning. I'm not going to go into each one of these right now in the announcement video. I'll save that for the discussion for the chapter, but I just want you to be aware of that. Now, another thing that the chapter talks about is conformity. And there has to be some unity to a group or to a team. Otherwise, you'll get this fractured group, fractured team that's not going to be successful. So there has to be some conformity to that. Now, there are different types of work teams. There are self-managed work teams where they will manage themselves. They can get to hire their own people. They can let people go. They kind of call their own shots. Those are good ones to be in. Now, there's virtual teams as well. I've been part of virtual teams. That's a little more challenging because it's just as it says, we do things on Zoom or Teams, and we have to get together and try to get to know each other. And it's a little bit harder on that. But what's really nice about the virtual teams is that you can do it pretty much any time. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, well, wait a second. I only want to work during the day. Well, sometimes you may have to work during the night too. You may have a group member who's in San Francisco while you're in Wisconsin, or you may have someone who's in the East Coast and people in the West Coast. It's challenging, but it can be done. It could be late afternoon. You can't do early mornings because people are different time zones. So we could take a look at virtual teams and the success of that. And you might be saying, well, it's kind of hard to get no one over virtually. It's really not. You still ask questions. There's still people. You may not be able to see the body language or the gestures that they have, but you can still get to know people. Now, a couple things about work design that this chapter talks about is autonomy. We all kind of want to call our own shots when it comes to our work. And that autonomy is very important. Now, you may say to yourself, well, wait a second. How do we have autonomy in teams? Well, you can be assigned certain tasks in teams and then bring that to the table and work together and ask for suggestions, feedback, whatever the case may be. That right there is autonomy in itself. Now, the other thing you want to talk about is teams always the answer? Not necessarily. If you have a project that needs to be done right away, maybe not. If there's an issue with cost because you have extra people on a team taken away from them, it may not be. You may want to do individually. But know that Teams itself is a very good way to go, and that you will get a lot more accomplished in a team environment. Well, that's my discussion for Chapter 10 in terms of the announcement. I will see you in the discussion forum. I'll see you when we talk about this chapter in Chapter 10. Have a great day.